Your bullets are spent. You're history. Oh yeah? I know Gun Fu. Oh dear.
Hi, Lester, Wish You Engineer. I'm a big fan of action films and genres that feature a type of cinematic combat typically called gun fu, also called the gun kata. Just a warning about this video. This is a speculative opinion piece. This video presents my opinions and some speculation on the concept of gun fu. It does not contain much by the way of action. Wikipedia has the following to say about gun fu. Gun fu, which is a portmanteau of gun and kung fu, also known as gun kata, bullet ballet, and gymnastic gunplay, is a fictional style of sophisticated close-quarters gunfight resembling a martial arts battle that combines firearms and martial arts and traditional weapons in approximately 50-50 ratio. It can be seen in Hong Kong action cinema and in American films influenced by it. The focus of gun fu is both style and the usage of firearms in ways that they were not designed to be used. Shooting a gun from each hand, usually paired with jumping to the side at the same time, shots from behind the back, as well as the use of guns as melee weapons are all common. Other moves can involve shotguns, submachine guns, rocket launchers, and just about anything else that can be worked into a cinematic shot. It is often mixed with hand-to-hand combat maneuvers. Gun fu has become a staple factor in modern action films due to its visually appealing nature, regardless of its actual practicality in a real-life combat situation. This is a contrast to American action movies of the 1980s, which focused more on heavy weaponry and outright brute force in firearms-based combat. Now, I have a few issues with the Wikipedia article as it stands, as does Wikipedia itself, it seems, since Wikipedia notes the following about the article. It notes that the article has multiple issues that include the fact that the article contains possibly original research, that it needs additional citations for verification, and that it may contain indiscriminate, excessive, or irrelevant examples. One of my issues with the Wikipedia article is to do with the statement that gun fu is a fictional style of sophisticated close-quarters gunfight resembling a martial arts battle that combines firearms with martial arts and traditional weapons in approximately 50-50 ratio. I also have a problem with the statement that the focus of gun fu is both style and the usage of firearms in ways that they were not designed to be used. Shooting a gun from each hand, usually paired with jumping to the side at the same time, shots from behind the back, as well as the use of guns as melee weapons are all common. And yet, despite these blanket statements made in the Wikipedia article, a combination of martial arts and gunfighting has existed and has been evolving since the early 1900s. The Wikipedia article on combat pistol shooting defines this as follows. Combat pistol shooting is a modern martial art that focuses on the use of the handgun as a defensive weapon for self-defense or for military and police use. Like most martial arts, combat pistol shooting is practiced both for defense and for sport. Many of the action shooting disciplines are based on combat pistol techniques and take the form of simulations of defensive or combat situations. In addition, the usage of firearms as melee weapons is as old as firearms themselves. And while guns may not be designed to be used primarily in this way, manufacturers through the ages have acknowledged that this is occasionally how they are employed and have designed them to accommodate this usage. Early firearms were often turned into makeshift percussive weapons when their limited shot capacity was exhausted. And that's without even mentioning the use of bayonets affixed to rifles, clearly a design feature. So you can probably already begin to see my primary point in this video. The Wikipedia article on gun fu dismisses it as a fictional idea, but does not highlight and acknowledge that a form of gun fu actually already exists. It just does not look like it is portrayed in the movies. It's practiced by most armed forces and police services throughout the world, with specialist squads receiving ever higher levels of training in this martial art. Think of tactical firearms training and combat pistol shooting.
The Marine Corps has always been known for adapting to an ever-changing battlefield. The most recent case in point is the Combat Shooting Team. The Marine Corps Combat Shooting Team takes part in 3 gun competitions, where pistol, rifle, and shotguns are applied to a course designed around combat engagements. Something the team, which includes 2 wounded warriors, is familiar with.
Of course, as mentioned, in practice, it doesn't look like it does in the movies. Movies tend to over-dramatize and exaggerate the skills and acts of their protagonists and villains in order to drive a dramatic narrative and, of course, for its sheer entertainment value. But this is essentially the same for bare hand and melee fighting as well. Real fighting is very different in real life to what it looks like in the movies, for the same reasons. So what does the future hold in terms of the potential for further development of Gun Fu? I'd like to speculate a little, if I may. The movie Equilibrium, I thought, was really clever in the way that it introduced Gun Fu. Most other movies that feature Gun Fu don't often have a very well-developed or consistent reason or backstory for the skills and abilities demonstrated by their Gun Fu fighting cast members. They can just do awesome stuff because reasons. But that's never really very satisfying for me in terms of entertainment value. Not because I have a problem suspending my disbelief, but because providing a reason and backstory for the existence of something incredible, like Gun Fu, is actually part of the entertainment value and can be turned into a major plot point, which could drive the story. Equilibrium is rare, however, because it introduced Gun Fu as a legitimate martial art within the lore of the film itself, called the Gun Kata.
Inflicting maximum damage on the maximum number of opponents, while keeping the defender clear of the statistically traditional trajectories of return fire.
Which had been developed by analyzing data from thousands of gunfights to optimize the operator's firing angles and postures to enhance their survivability and efficiency. Do I believe that it is possible to develop a gun kata? The short answer is yes. Combat pistol shooting and tactical firearms training, which are forms of Gun Fu, or the gun kata, already exist. With advanced computer simulation and analysis, it may indeed be possible to establish statistically significant firing angles, rates of fire, and predictive opponent tactical assessment, which would vary based on environment, types of opponents, and other factors. This information could be used to further optimize the individual operator's movement and tactics to improve their survivability and efficiency, much as was done in the movie Equilibrium. Essentially, this is how tactics and combat approaches are developed today by human combat instructors. They develop responses and tactics based on the existing combat system that they inherit, their own experiences, and the experience of others that they may reference. However, the information is very limited in volume, and their conclusions may thus be compromised due to limited information. In addition, they may draw conclusions that are anecdotal based on their own personal perspective that may work but are in fact fundamentally flawed or not optimized. Once again, due to limited information. Modeling thousands of real and simulated gunfights using computers may provide insights into combat shooting that are non-intuitive, but that may significantly improve the martial art. Combining existing firearms-based martial arts with existing bare hand systems that optimize martial artists' structure, posture, power, speed, and mental acuity could perhaps lead to additional improvements in operator survivability and efficiency. Lastly, the use of specialized forms of mental and physical training, along with technologically advanced weapons, early warning and targeting systems, and potential technological or genetic operator enhancements may further optimize these characteristics. But would existing firearms-based martial arts benefit from studying other martial arts? In my opinion, I believe that this may be the case. Let me present an example of this in one of the many parallels between combat pistol shooting and traditional martial arts. The following is a demonstration of a popular handgun firing stance known as the Weaver stance. Note the position of the feet and the hands. Some have compared this with a boxer's stance, which it may in fact be based on originally. Now compare this with a Wushu fighting stance based on a 4-6 or Sulibu stance. Can you see the similarities? There are differences based predominantly on weight distribution and muscular engagement, but the same triangulation can be seen, which allows for rapid shifts for target acquisition. The one primary difference is that in the Wushu stance, the weight is often kept predominantly or even entirely on the back foot. This is connected with Wushu's unique attack and defense methodology. In fact, the incorporation of this weight distribution along with the necessary training to understand its use may lead to the development of a modified or hybrid Weaver stance, which may be more effective under certain circumstances. This would obviously have to be analyzed to ascertain its effectiveness, but the potential is there. I love to see the parallels and differences between various martial arts, and I find it fascinating to analyze the underlying reasons for their existence. In summary, it would be a phenomenally interesting project to combine traditional martial arts approaches with the more modern firearms-based martial arts like combat pistol shooting. Throw in a team of analysts and scientists armed with modeling software to model literally thousands of real and simulated gunfights to identify trends that could lead us further in the quest for optimization. Stir in a dash of futuristic high-tech weapons along with a spritz of technological, psychological, or genetic operator enhancement, and voila! You've come up with a system that could finally, and in all honesty, be called the gun kata, or gun fu. Of course, this will never really be done because people are happy with the way things are. The expense in terms of time and effort would probably not be warranted. But anyway, it's nice to speculate sometimes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. And incidentally, the new t-shirts are going to be coming quite soon. Wearing one at the moment. It's printed on the front and on the back, and that should be available in our store fairly soon. So for those of you who are keen to support the channel, keep an eye out for that. We'll be posting it up as soon as we've got the site ready. See you next time. Cheers.